All right, we got this is the last section of our South Texas High School baseball preview. We got head coach Adrian Alanis from the Sinton High School. We're going to talk a little bit about his team coming up here in the 2024 high school season. We've had 5As, 4As. We even had a 1A today. Tomorrow we'll do the 3A to 1A preview. So we got Coach Alanis here. Past 3 years state tournament, 1 year state champ. So he's going to talk a little bit about what he's got returning, some players to watch, trying to get back to the state tournament this year in 2024. So, Coach, we start every podcast. What do you do for the school district, and what do you coach? What do you teach?
Well, this is my 12th year at Sinton High School, and I've only been at Sinton.
Right.
Product of Sinton High School.
So that answers our question right
there. You go. Did I already jump ahead of the gun? There you go.
No, we're good.
This is the only job I've ever had. So I'm a football coach. I coach our quarterbacks, cool. And then I'm the head baseball coach, and I also teach high school health. So I wasn't always a high school health teacher. I started off doing elementary PE. So if nobody's ever done elementary PE with kindergartners through 5th graders, man, that gives you a whole different perspective on life, even before having kids. I don't know if that was birth control before that, but man, I tell you what, it was quite a journey. But
and most of the coaches that have been here, like, we do PE, DAP, dual creative. We're like, man, y'all got it made.
Yeah, it would be nice. No, but yeah, I teach health at the high school and I enjoy it. Today was our first day back, and I get a whole new group of kids. We do semester 1 health and semester 2 health. So
cool.
It's been fun.
Nice. So baseball's been fun too. It's been good to you, of course. You had a storied career also. You're a Texas Longhorn. You played some minor league ball. So now you're in the high school. You build up the Sinton program, which you were assistant before, right?
Correct.
Under
Casper, yep.
Yep. And then you started head coach in what year?
2016 was my first year. Okay. I stopped playing minor league ball in the spring of 2011. And at that moment, I had already graduated from the University of Texas. And it was at that moment to where, all right, guys, what do we do? Do I go be a GA at Texas, which I definitely was, considering the college scene at that point, because I had a lot of buddies that did that as well. And we were living in Hutto. My wife and I had bought a house out that way, and Tom Allen was the AD at Sinton, and something popped up where he could get both of us back home, and my wife was already coaching at Hutto. Right. And, man, we made the transition back to Sinton, and it's been the best move we've ever made. So I was an assistant under Casper for 4 years. Right. He was my high school baseball coach, just a legendary guy in himself. Just, all the tournament appearances and winning 3 state titles at Sinton, and then
to you've been in the state tournament 3. So that's cool.
Man, it is cool.
Cool, right?
It is cool. Yeah. So it's fun. I've enjoyed it since 2016. That second year we were there in 2017, we got to go to the state tournament. Right. Kind of test the waters on how all that was, and every year I think Sinton baseball has kind of been to the expectations of getting to the state tournament. Right. And now that we've won it and, have been there 3 consecutive years in a row, I think that's the expectation, right, is to get there and try to win it all. And it's been fun.
And, it's like they say, it's always hard to win back-to-back. It's hard to get there, period.
It still hurts me, even in my ankle. Right?
Yeah. And it's like the other coaches are saying, we want to be the Cat Allens. We want to be the Sintons. Y'all are the how do you call it?
Gold standard.
The gold standard for South Texas high school baseball. Of course, corpus, it varies, right? 1 year it's Moody. 1 year it's Carroll.
The next it's Ray.
Yeah, and then Vets went. So, but it's so much of the tradition of the area, right? And like I say, and now it's London, in the 3A level. So man, I think when a lot of people think about it, it's like, wow, it's just every year they have a team in the state tournament, So moving forward, Coach, 2024, of course, you made it to the state tournament 3 years in a row, state champion. You've probably every year you've lost a couple of guys. 3 years ago the Browns, and then or the older Brown, and then 2 years ago the Galvans, and so forth. And then last year now you lose your main core, Mitchell, Stewart, and those guys. So you got to kind of regroup. But to me, seeing what you got, I seen y'all play. You still got a pretty solid team coming back.
We do. I mean, name those guys, man. Those guys were good back then. But yes, we do have a pretty good group of kids coming back. We were talking about this the other day. We've got 5 seniors that have all contributed
at some time,
depending on who's on the mound,
right.
For the last 3 or 4 years. And each one of those seniors have been to the state tournament every single
experiences
year. It's crazy. I mean, who would not want that for their high school career?
Yep.
And we hope to get to that level and get back to that point and give them their senior year that they all envisioned they would have. So we're going to lean on that leadership with those guys that have been through it all. Marco Gonzalez, I feel like he's been in high school forever. That kid has been the top of our lineup and our leadoff guy. He's such
sure-handed at second base.
Oh, man, just super smooth, very fluid.
Right.
A quiet-natured kid, just goes about his business the right way. Really expecting big things for him. He's matured a lot in his body as well, so had a really good off season. And Aiden Moody's kind of been our guy that came upon the scene big time last year for
energy.
us.
That brings energy, man.
Huge last year.
Yes.
I seen him pitch twice. I was like, man, the dude brings energy.
Yes, he does. He's very fiery, good looking kid, just loves the ball in his hand. And, I feel like his junior year was that postseason for us, man. I mean, he bailed us out of a lot of big time situations when we were kind of handcuffed with some of our pitching duties.
Right.
And, even at the plate as well, man, he's such a strong kid. Anytime he puts hold of the ball, it's going to go somewhere.
Right.
And so he'll be the leader of our pitching staff this year. So we're really excited to see what his season can entail and being healthy. Last year,
banged up for football.
He got banged up with football. He broke his ankle, man. And so he got sidelined all year. And we really didn't know how good he was going to be as far as mobility wise. And he's back. He's good. He played a full year of football, and a really good year.
Football player.
Really good linebacker, man.
And had a great year with football as well.
Yes, really good linebacker, man. So he's that hard-nosed guy you need on top of the mound, right?
Right. And then you also got a couple of other guys too that came up. Tell me.
We got Nick Flores.
Nick Flores, of course. And, I was amazed with that kid. That tournament. I mean, at Whataburger caught 2 games. So many out there, 6 hours or 7 hours catching. I was like, hey, man. I told his dad. I said, hey, man, props to your kid, man. He caught every inning, every pitch, and that was 2 long games.
Yeah.
So he's a grinder.
Yeah. If you know Nick, he's a grinder, man. He's gonna ball out, and nobody envisioned him to having to catch that many innings.
I know. We know.
With the ejections going on and that whole entire situation.
That was so weird, man. That was so weird.
Yeah, you just kind of want to put that one on the next page.
You don't want to talk about that.
No, you really don't. But Nick did his job, and he sacrificed a lot for himself and his team. And, I mean, the overall outcome was exactly what we wanted with him. But Nick's been that guy. Him and Aiden and Marco have probably been the biggest out of that senior group that have had more action since they were freshmen.
Right.
They played roles on the team for the state championship squad, and we're going to lean a lot on Nick. To me, he's that kind of leader guy that you definitely want to take hold of. So does he step in as
catcher for you?
He does. Okay. We have a few options at the catching position that we're going to work with. Nick's caught his entire life and career.
Okay.
And just when you're stuck behind Rylan Galvan and Blake Mitchell, I mean, what can you do, right?
No.
So,
and then you have Rob Thomas.
We have Rob Thomas.
He did pretty well. And then the other kid that played first base,
Cash
Stewart. What's his name?
Cash Wood.
Cash Wood is a junior for us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Cash is a physical looking kid.
Yeah.
Another one like 6'3", 210 pounds and strong and a very good, mobile guy. I mean, moves very well for
and he
being
hit pretty
big.
Well too.
He did. He was our 3 or 4 hole guy. Right behind, Stewart. Klein Chester's another kid that's been with us. The other Chester kid.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that you're like, all right, the families, they've all got somebody in there. So
and then the kid that stepped in for you at third base too was not bad. Muchler.
Yeah. Nate Muchler's another good kid too. We've got a Derek Garcia. You know, we've got.
Yeah. That was your running back.
That was our running back.
Okay.
Good looking kid.
Athlete.
Really good looking kid, man. So
you bring back a good core.
Yes.
That you should be fine with. You know.
We should,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to see how well they all work together. I mean, that's our job as a coach to
how
kinda,
the gel after all these guys left, all the dudes that you had. You know.
Yes, because there's always been talent.
Yeah.
It's just how do you find playing time for all the talent that's there?
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, last year, our JV squad, a lot of those kids that we're talking about, I played on the JV level just so they can play. And we were a very, very competitive JV team.
So y'all had a lot of depth.
Yes.
Right.
And depth is great. And now I feel like going into this year, let's see how that depth has paid off. And now these kids are jumping into full-time roles. We've got a lot of arms to work with.
Right.
You know, replacing the 3 arms that we had last year is going to be tough. No doubt it is. Yeah, it's inevitable, right? You're not going to replace them, but let's see how well we can grow everybody else around. You know, the Aiden Moody's, the Rob Thomases, and so it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting, and you know, the kids have high expectations as they should.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've been there, you've done it. I mean, there's no, you know, if you don't go, there's a disappointment, right?
Yeah.
And they probably want to be like, you know, we got to get there. We got to prove people wrong that even though we lost all these big names, you know, we want to do it too, you know. So.
Yeah, and that's okay for people to think, and you know.
Yeah, and I heard a bunch of rumors too, like, oh man, I think Coach Annie's gone after this. I said, I don't think so, you know. Everybody was saying it, and I was like, why would he leave? You know?
I know. Sinton's a great place to be at.
Yeah.
Sinton
Marcus, you have anything?
Yeah, I think what you just said, Sinton being a great place to be, having gone to a lot of y'all's games and being at the state tournament, the community support is phenomenal.
Second to none, yeah.
It's great. Not only that, but the investment, and this was, you know, years ago, but y'all have a great stadium. Y'all have a great field, turf field. Yeah, the facilities are great. So it really is a great place to be.
Yes.
So, I mean, why would you want to leave?
Yeah, exactly.
I just heard a rumor that you were probably going to college or something. That's what I heard.
Yeah, rumors are rumors.
Yeah, and I said, nah, I don't think so. I think he's gonna, you know, he's got a good core. It's a good, you know, Sinton has a good athletic program as a whole. You know, not only boys, girls too. You know, so
yeah, and you know, we're from Sinton. My wife's from Sinton. I mean, that's born and raised. Our families are still there too, man. So there's I heard a lot of those discussions too.
Yeah, so I mean, looking forward to 24, like you said, you know, you got a competitive team, your district, of course, you got, you know, Ingleside, Rockport, Port Lavaca was a surprise last year. Mm-hmm. Last year I noticed, you know, there was a couple of games where y'all were close there for a while. You know, they gave you some competitiveness that you probably helped you out, you know, for the playoffs, you know, to play in a tight game.
Yeah.
I know in Ingleside y'all were close one game or something. We were. So, I mean, that gets you ready too for playoff atmosphere and stuff like that. But like you said, you have a bunch of guys that have been there to 3 state tournaments, so you know they know what it takes.
Yeah, you know, and our district has been really competitive. You know, Tootie's got a good ball club over there in Rockport, and I feel like his senior class, he started a lot of those kids as freshmen.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
And the 3 years of experience are going to pay off for him. Right. He's got a good arm in Sean Howell.
Right.
And, you know, so we expect a pretty competitive game against those guys going into, you know, the Inglesides. You know, it seems like every year we jump into that equation with them, and we're going to get everybody's best.
Yeah,
and Ingleside has given us problems at times.
Yeah.
And, you know, Port Lavaca is another one. They've got some good ball players as well. And so
I heard Beeville was improved a little bit.
Yeah, and Coach Vasquez has kind of got the same situation that Tootie had with – he started a lot of freshmen.
Wow.
Give them this year, they're obviously going to get better. And the next year they're going to be a lot better. So we enjoy the competition that our district brings. You know, unfortunately, I think after this year the alignment's going to change, and we're kind of wondering where we're going to get thrown at. And maybe we lose a Port Lavaca, but I know like the Orange Groves and the West Osers are going to drop, and they're going to be out of our district because they're going to go to 3A. So February, I believe, is when that timeline starts happening where all those teams get filtered out. But yeah, we enjoy it. You know, we play a pretty competitive schedule as we should. And
what tournament? I mean, you're having your tournament, and what other 2 tournaments are you attending?
We're going to have our tournament. We're actually bringing in some pretty good competition. Locally, we'll have Sinton, Flower Bluff, Robstown, Rockport, Goliad. We're bringing in Canyon Lake, Austin ISD's coming up from the Austin area, and then Mercedes. So we're a week one. We've hosted. I think this is our third year to actually hosting that.
Yeah. Nice.
And I think more people like to gravitate down to the South Texas area because of the cold weather.
We were talking about that.
That's what they're saying.
Which it's still really cold around that time.
Shoot, 2 years ago, went to the Laredo Border Olympics. It was 32 degrees. My God.
Nobody envisioned that would be like that. No. But
like,
we'll go to Cal Allen on the second week.
Right. That's a competitive.
Always competitive. Coach Chapman does a really good job of putting some dudes against us, which, I mean, you want to be competitive, go play competitive ball every single game. So I'm anxious to see how well we can develop the arms because it's a 5-game tournament.
Right.
Most of the tournaments that we're going to go in, like our week 1 and week 3, are going to be 4 games. So that 5th game can catch up to some teams, especially if something doesn't go right. And so we're expecting good quality play out of that tournament. And then our week 3, we go to Dripping Springs. And we've been there for 4 years now. And Coach Payne over there has a really nice facility similar to what we got. We're going to play a bunch of Austin schools. We opened up with Smithson Valley straight out of the get-go. We'll play Austin Bowie, who's another good 6A school. We're going to play Dripping Springs, who's got 2 kids going D1 pitchers, and then we have Round Rock, Stony Point. So we're going to get our competition, guys.
And then it's like these other coaches saying too, that don't matter if you lose or not. It's gonna see how you improve from that.
Sure.
And especially with your group this year.
Yeah.
You got some experienced guys, but you got some guys that are gonna have to step in too. So talking about that, Coach, who are the guys? How many returnees do you have total starters, and what newcomers are you expecting to help the team this year?
Well, depending on who's on the mound, we're gonna have 6 returning guys.
Okay.
Which is a good majority of what you would need to build a nucleus around.
Right.
Like I said, the JV squad we had last year, your Nate Muchlers, your Derek Garcias, your Adrian Diastases, there's kids within that were sophomores that are juniors now that are going to jump into some roles that we really feel good about. Be contributors. Blake's younger brother Clay is a big kid, and we kind of carried him up at the varsity level at times too as a freshman, and so we feel like some of those boys that will jump along. We've had we have a pretty talented freshman group that I really haven't been able to see. So I'm not a guy that's not going to hide a freshman down at the freshman level if he's good enough to play varsity.
We were talking about that too, man. We're like, now these freshmen come in, they're ready. Some of them are ready. So.
Some of them are ready, and we're going to take a solid look at a few of them and see what they can do. And if they have positions for us, then we'll rock and roll with those guys too. Yeah. So, my main focus is obviously hitting the ground running on Friday next week when we're all ready to roll, and a lot of our kids are out there at the field putting in their time and anxiously waiting for that and building that pitching staff and that core group that we need to get back to the state tournament. So this is the best time of the year for us, man. So
for sure, man. We're looking at London too is bringing back their whole team. Y'all got a good shot. One of the corporate schools always has a good shot. So I would bet on one of our teams being there again. So I would place a bet on it.
We're playing London this year too, so that's going to be a fun little matchup with us.
Yeah, I think we are too. Alice is too. So. So moving forward, Coach. So you'll have some depth pitching. You have the depth position and defensively. So you're basically going to take it. You're going to play some heavyweights right off the bat. You're going to know how good you are right off the bat. And then getting you ready for district, and then of course your kids, they've been there, done that. How many? So including you playing, how many state tournaments have you been to?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Let's see, you've coached.
Man, I got to go back and do some math. Okay, so in the 8
coaching?
years,
4 coaching, right?
4 coaching. In the 8 years that I've been the head coach, we've been to the state tournament 4 times.
50%.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely humbled about that.
Yeah.
And
playing.
let's see. Playing wise, we won the state championship in 2002. We went back in 2003 as a senior. So where are we at now? Six. Okay. And then in 2014 as an assistant, I was with Casper. We went in 14 and played Argyle. So yeah, about seven
times.
Yeah, seven times. And the crazy
So you've
stat,
pretty much been 80-90% of them.
yeah, and the funny stat about that you
Besides
asked
the
that-
80s, right?
Yes, besides the 80s,
right.
yeah. The funny stat about that, every year that I guess Sinton's been to the state tournament since 1998, you know, I'm a family of 3 boys.
Right.
Out of the 12 appearances that Sinton has been at the state tournament, me and my brothers have been to at least 9 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
75%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't part of the 88, 89 teams, but
Wow.
you know,
Wow. That's
it's
a
pretty cool.
tradition, pretty much.
Yes.
That's a tradition.
Yeah,
that's a real tradition.
We're invested.
Yeah, for sure. Marcus, you got something?
I'm more curious, and since you're the last one, unless you need to go, we can go a little bit longer.
No, we're good, man.
I want to hear about some of your days at Texas.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to hear about what it was like when you were recruited out of high school, winning a state championship, and then winning a national championship at Texas.
Yeah.
So
And
just
that's another thing, right?
Yeah, kind of just.
You
You're just
guys-
a winner. This is a winner. So just kind of tell us about, throughout high school, what the recruiting scene was like.
He's like that song goes, just win, win. What's that song?
Yeah.
So the recruiting scene started probably by my sophomore year. Not too many people know this, but I played summer ball in Columbus, Ohio,
Really?
for a team called the Ohio Thunder. And
Okay.
this is like travel ball to like an extreme, which the guy who ran the program, his name is Randy McLean. My oldest brother is 2 years older than me. They went to a perfect game showcase in Florida or Georgia. I think it was Florida or Georgia. And this guy was there to try to pick up some players and, try to build a travel ball team around. And he picked my brother. And, next thing you know, 2 years later, it's like, oh, you got a little brother. And so they picked me up at some point. And we stayed in Columbus, Ohio. I did that for my sophomore and junior year, and had to play a plane ticket to get out there. And we stayed at a Division III dormitory in Columbus, Ohio, and went to major tournaments in Memphis, Tennessee, and Marietta, Georgia. And at that point, man, just playing competitive ball, it was awesome. I mean, you're staying in a dorm as a high school sophomore.
So you already have like
junior.
a college.
We were learning how to live away from home and call mom and dad from a prepaid card that was, you only had like a little telephone down the hall. But some of the guys that were on our team were local guys in Corpus too.
Oh, wow.
Cliff Pennington
Really?
was on our team.
Yeah. So that video that I made for Jose's thing,
Yeah.
I could not find any video of Cliff Pennington. I know he was from here.
Yeah,
Don't,
you know what?
Yes.
Everybody
for all the
always
people,
forgets about him.
all the
Yeah,
people who
man.
think I
Carroll.
forgot.
Cliff's
I
my
know.
guy.
Cliff,
Oakland
yes,
Yes.
Oakland A's,
Yeah.
and he bounced around a little bit towards the end of his
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
He's a coach now at I think DBU or
Yes, he's at Dallas
something
Baptist.
like that. Yeah.
He's at Dallas Baptist. So, yeah, we played competitive ball for that team for 2 years
In the summers.
in the summers. And, I mean, exposure like crazy.
Oh, wow.
Man.
The college visits, I went to 4 official visits out of my pickings of schools that were interested in me. But my first official scholarship that I ever had was a full ride to play football at Baylor.
Wow.
It was crazy as a quarterback.
As quarterback? Okay.
Yeah, I was out after my sophomore year. That was the first official scholarship I ever had. And Kevin Steele was the defensive coordinator, or was the head coach there. And I think he's the DC at like Auburn right now or something. It's crazy. Yeah. So the schools that I went to visit were Arizona. Andy Lopez was there. Always been in the College World Series. I went to A&M. Mark Johnson was the head coach there. I went to LSU. And then I went to Texas, and in that order, my junior year as far as visits. And man, it was between Texas and LSU. And I even going to the visits, like going with my dad, I told him, I said, Dad, I can see myself going to LSU. And he's like, well, we still got to go visit Texas next week, so let's kind of wait. And I had a brother that was at St. Edward's University that was playing college ball, and man, I chose Texas, and it was the best decision I ever made, right? You know, going to Texas and winning a national championship. But man, it was cool getting recruited because, you know, being from Sinton and you going to Texas, you're just kind of like,
a whole different
animal.
Yeah.
You know, I really didn't know much of Coach Garrido, to be honest with you, going to Texas. I was going to Texas because of the brand, man. You know, that program that they had, and, you know, seeing all the things that they've done at the College World Series, like I wanted to go there.
Yeah.
And our recruiting class was really good, man. And I redshirted my freshman year, so I didn't get to play. And I think that was the best thing for me as a high school kid, and just getting acclimated to the college lifestyle and nutrition and strength and conditioning and all that, and academics. So I don't shy away from anybody redshirting. That was a great experience for me, man.
That's what I tell everybody. I say it's not a bad thing.
No.
I mean, it's not a bad thing.
And kids want to go play now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I get it. I would have loved to play, but I wasn't going to play in front of Houston Street and Jay Brent Cox and J.P. Howe, who are, you know, all Americans and played pro ball at times, you know. So the time there, you know, I was really fortunate my second year in, which was my redshirt freshman year, when we ended up winning the national title. I didn't know what kind of role I was going to be.
Beat LSU, right?
We beat Florida. We beat the Florida Gators. Yeah. Man, it was crazy because I didn't know if I was going to jump into the rotation, because we had some guys that didn't redshirt that were in my recruiting class that had some pretty good roles. And a guy got academically ineligible as a starter that year, so here slid in the Adrian Allen Ace and jumped into that Sunday role, and I just ran with it, man. And you know, if that kid isn't academically ineligible, I don't know where my story would have been at Texas. And so things happen at the right time, right? And
one, like I say, one door closed, the other's open. It's true. It's true.
It is.
It's true. Yeah, man. So you know, you had a story. You pitched your sophomore, junior.
Yeah. So I pitched my redshirt freshman year, my sophomore year, and I was draft eligible as a sophomore.
Oh, okay. Because you're redshirt. The age, right? The age.
Yes. I was kind of an older kid. I graduated 18, turning 19.
Okay.
Out of high school.
Right.
But I played 3 years at Texas and got drafted by the Washington Nationals.
Right. Okay.
And
that's when they were kind of a new.
Yeah, they were new. I think they had just transitioned from the Expos at one point.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, had the opportunity to go do that. And, you know, my sophomore year, I got drafted from the Cardinals in like the 36th round. And I came back from my junior year, ended up winning Big 12 Pitcher of the Year, and went like 12-3, and improved my draft status from the 36th round to the 8th round.
Wow. Yeah.
So things worked out in my favor at that point. And, yeah, man, that's kind of the gist of the whole.
How far did y'all go your junior year?
We didn't get out of the regionals.
Okay.
My sophomore and my junior year.
Okay.
So my sophomore year, they threw Stanford in our regional, and they had the number 1 overall pick in Mark Reynolds. I think that was his name. He was a pitcher. He was a dude. Yeah. And then my junior year, we lost to UC Irvine, who they ended up making it to the College World Series that year. And we had some tough teams. NC State was in there, but couldn't quite get out of the regional after winning the national championship 2 years before that. So
tough.
That was it's tough, man. College baseball is really tough.
It is.
But I had some good opportunities to play some quality summer ball too, man. I played in the Cape Cod leagues. Played for the Hyannis Mets, and then summer ball my sophomore year I played in Santa Barbara for the Foresters.
Okay.
And super cool to just go East Coast, West Coast, and get a lot a lot.
Didn't Ryland play over in the West Coast?
Yeah, he played for the same team.
Okay.
This
the
summer?
Foresters, yeah.
Wow.
It's just full circle, man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Cool.
And, you know, he had some good playing time last year. He did well. I mean, for the, spot, he had a good catcher, in front of him too,
Yeah.
But this year he's in the running too for.
He is. He and I talked over the break. Him and his brother, Renee, will come down and get some hacks in and, stay here for the 2 weeks and see family. But he's got a really good shot of playing some quality time back there like he anticipated he needed to. And really excited to see how his season goes for him, man.
Yeah.
Another Sinton guy at UT, right? Crazy.
Right? I'm telling you, he and I talk about it a lot too,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, can you believe this? Can you believe this? Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, man. And then Mitchell, of course, got his feet wet at the pro level. I'm sure he's going to be back at it. And, I mean, they still got him ranked #1 overall prospect. So.
Yeah. Blake's just that generational talent, man. I mean, if you would have asked me if this kid would have been a first rounder his freshman year after seeing him, just like a little puppy,
Yeah.
I would have said, no way. I mean, the IQ and
Yeah.
was just through the roof as a little freshman for us, man. I think I batted him lead off. And then the senior year I ended up batting him lead off because nobody wanted to pitch to him.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Blake's a super special kid. And, I mean, I don't know if I ever saw somebody work as hard as that kid, from his junior to senior year. Like, something clicked with him and at the end of the day, he had an off period. He wouldn't go home. He'd stay in the weight room. He had a plan. He'd go to the cages. He was just constantly working, and, just coaching a kid like that. And you can see how much effort he put into it and investments and sacrifices. I mean,
Paid
cool.
off.
It's
It
cool,
paid
man.
off. And
It's
hopefully it he has a good career, right? So,
yeah.
yeah. No, and I mean, can't talk about, we probably beat the horse with it, but, can't talk enough about the region, the South Texas area, the baseball talent. Got a bunch of guys in the pros.
Yeah.
A bunch of guys playing college ball. There's some guys it's like that kid from Carroll came out of nowhere. He played on the JV.
Mm-hmm.
Gets signed to Kent State.
Mm-hmm.
Just never know.
Yeah.
It's we just have a crazy deep pool of talent, and everybody goes, well, that's gonna end. No, I don't see it ending.
It's been longer than anybody has ever known, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
if you go back and look at the history of South Texas baseball, even before
Yeah.
we were little, I mean, Brooks Kieschnick,
Oh yeah.
guys like that, Bert Hooten. I mean, those names.
Alice had a couple of guys too.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, Cuellar.
Yeah, Bobby Cuellar. Bobby Cuellar.
He won a
Yeah,
World Series with the Dodgers. He's
I
from
still see
Alice.
him at the
Yeah.
Texas alumni
Yeah,
things, man. Yeah, but
Yeah.
South Texas baseball has always put product out there.
Yeah.
Right now, all we see is what we know within the last 10, 15
Yeah,
years.
very much.
But guarantee
So, yeah,
you,
you
well
brought up
before
Clint
that.
Pennington, man, I forgot about him. Clint Pennington.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a hell of a ball player for Carroll.
Yeah.
man.
When I was doing all the research to find clips of everybody for that video,
Yeah, that was a hell of a video.
there was no video of Bert. There was like that one video of Brooks that was in there.
Mike Adams is a sitting guy too,
Mike
man.
Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And then that lefty,
Bonda.
Mike Gonzalez.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, Anthony.
Bond. Yeah.
Did you coach him?
I did not coach Anthony.
Okay.
I got there the year after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they had him and who else? Mike Adams from
Yeah.
Sinton.
Yep.
So Sinton's got a bunch of guys that went up there, man.
Whatever. I
Courtney
know-
Hawkins still playing independent ball.
Yep.
Yeah, he's over. He got drafted to this new league in the Middle East.
Shit,
called-
last year he hit like 30 bombs or something like
he
that.
hit,
Really?
He hit like 48
Oh, shit.
in the independent
Holy-
league. Yeah, there's I mean, the Middle East. The live golf, like
Yeah,
Um,
make crazy money.
crazy money. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They basically took crazy money, and they said we're gonna create a rival. What we want to be a rival to the MLB.
Is there an age limit? Because I think we might want to jump into that,
and
guys.
it's I think it's going to be like a fall winter league. So it'll be when the MLB is not in season.
Yeah.
To my understanding, I could be wrong, but basically they drafted a bunch of MLB has-beens.
Oh, yeah.
So they drafted Bartolo Colon. They drafted
He still pitches,
Andrelton
man.
Simmons.
He'll make the ball move like
Yeah.
Courtney Hawkins got drafted.
Damn.
Cool.
Because of his performance from independent ball, and
Right.
then he went and played in the Nippon League in Japan, which is Japan's highest league.
Right.
He played there for a year. I think he still plays there. I'm not sure. But yeah, so it's basically like a trial
Yeah.
what they had,
Right.
and they had like an all-star showcase where they had a game over in I think it was like Abu Dhabi or something. Like
That's pretty
crazy.
cool.
It was all
Get treated like kings out there.
Literally, yeah. It was
Yeah.
all over Courtney's Instagram. Like I saw it and everything. I posted. He got the first hit in
the-
baseball
In the
United
organization.
history.
Crazy.
Wow.
So like that's really cool.
Yeah.
Seeing that he was like 3 for something that game.
Yeah.
Had a really good game. But yeah, so Baseball United is the name of that
Oh.
league. Over
I got to look that up.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's they have a lot of prospects from the Middle East. have some guys from like India, where like cricket is bigger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But where they want baseball to grow.
Oh.
And then they'll have, of course, guys come over from the U.S. or
Yeah.
wherever to go play over there. But yeah, really cool on that front.
Shoot,
So,
yeah. Yeah, something different. You know?
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, well, so I mean, thank you for coming, Coach. I appreciate coming and talking a little baseball with us. And you ever need something, let us know.
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure just your name itself, you got the guys covered there in Sinton, in recruiting wise.
It always helps to know more.
Yeah, for sure. But now we wish you the best of luck on the season. We hope to see y'all back in the state tournament, and we'll be following you for sure.
Absolutely, guys.
For
Again,
sure.
I'm sure everybody has always told you guys this, but this is
Yeah.
we're really proud and thankful you guys do stuff like this for South Texas baseball. And
Yeah. We try.
we got what we got here is special.
Yes, sir.
It's not like this everywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's what
And
everybody says.
We're trying to promote these kids,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we think what we got here is really good, and it really is. South Texas baseball is the
A
finest.
lot of regions do this, so I mean, I think we're one of the only ones really. So,
Well, and it goes back to a lot of sacrifice too, man. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys have your own day jobs and you got families and stuff, and
Yeah.
so it's definitely thank you.
yes, sir.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
I have one last question.
Uh-oh.
How sad were you last week when Washington swatted that pass?
You know what?
Man.
I didn't like the play calling. The last
Yeah.
four, the last
Play
four
calling,
play.
I didn't like it either.
Hey, you're first and goal from the 12 with what? 48 seconds left?
Well, no, it was
It
like
was
15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
no,
not
I
a
thought
lot
it was
of
20.
time.
I thought it was 20 something.
No, it was like 15
okay.
seconds. Because they only got to run 3 plays.
The fact that we actually got
there.
to have that opportunity was mind blowing.
Yeah, because we were getting dominated.
because of
Yeah.
the time, only one timeout, and then the injured player
That benefited
stopped.
Texas.
Yeah, like nobody would have ever the football gods were in.
The one,
And
the
then
one
that
that
50-yard pass.
Yes.
the one that really ticked me off was that little screen to the running back. What?
Yeah,
so
that
I'm
was
a
nowhere.
so I'm a big
What was
Texas
that?
fan, and I also listen to all the post game interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, even my wife was like, "What were we doing in that last
Man,
possession?"
me too,
So
man.
Coach Sarkisian pretty much said that they were gonna. In that situation, the defense knows you got to get in.
Right.
There's no timeouts left. Anything that's caught before the goal line, the clock's running, you're pretty much done. Like you only have one play at that moment.
Right.
So they were going to take multiple shots to the end zone, and you're pretty much trying to throw passes into
The corner
a
routes.
box.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
such a small window.
Yeah.
That little pass to the back, out of the back,
Yeah.
that was a check down.
Yeah.
It's like, why even throw that?
See,
Just
that's the one that
throw it out of
that one
bounds.
confused the heck out of
Yeah,
me.
it wasn't a design play. That
Yeah.
was the last resort. But to me, I mean, I'm no football guru, but you always see in a 2-minute offense, guys are trying to use the perimeters.
Yeah. Out, go out.
5-yard
Quick
outs,
out,
get out,
for
get
sure,
out.
yeah.
Maybe give yourself an opportunity to get, inside the 10, and now you
yeah.
have an easier chance to score from there rather than from the 20.
You know what? You know what I would have called? I'm no football guru either, but I would have called a draw because those guys were aggressive rushing the quarterback, and their cornerbacks were playing to take away the touchdown.
Yeah.
You run a draw there, I think he scores.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Maybe, but even that last play where that guy swatted it.
Oh man, he got all of that.
Did you see the separation that A.D. Mitchell had on the corner?
Yeah.
I mean, an easy dart throw to that
Oh,
front
yeah.
pylon.
If
I think
if it's less of a lob. Then
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. It's got to be a little,
But
more firm.
that's nothing on yours. Yours is a pretty good quarterback, but
He bounced back because
but
the first half
Penix
he was shaky.
makes that throw,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and we may see that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that guy did. I mean, he did have pass interference. I mean, he grabbed.
Yeah,
Mitchell.
went over the top.
That could have been called.
It could have,
Yeah.
but I don't know if anybody would have
Yeah,
called that.
yeah, I know.
Put the ball on the 2-yard line and give
Yeah.
them a free play.
Yeah.
But following the Texas season, that was kind of their nemesis.
Yeah.
They really weren't a red zone team. It was either all or nothing.
Right.
And at that moment where they needed that all,
Yeah. And they're losing a lot of talent this year.
I know. I feel like everybody's declaring
Yeah.
every half hour. Like,
hate to see it, but good for them.
but we're glad that I don't want to say Texas is back, but
It's on the right.
they're on the right
Yeah.
track to
And then
be
they're
able to
getting
being consistent
recruiting
playing.
guys
and-
up to-
yeah, Coach Sarkisian does an awesome job with those guys, and I just love listening to that guy talk because I feel like he's got an answer for everything that they throw at him media wise.
Yeah.
That's good.
Over time, I have, not that I ever had anything against them. I just didn't have a fandom to like root for.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I went to A&M Corpus. And
Yeah.
I grew up a TCU baseball fan.
Yeah.
Because of some of the videos they would make, leading up to the season.
Yeah.
But I was always like just eager to watch. So then A&M Corpus, we don't have football, and just a mid-major school in general, not super dominant at anything in particular. So over the last few years, because of the brand.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Not only like the Longhorn, the Hook'em, the Texas, but the actual like media branding, because that's what I do for work. Like they just do such a good job of being able to recognize the brand and promote the brand, and their media is the highest quality possible. I'm like,
don't they specialize in it, like media, right?
They got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, they have everything. But
business and finance and.
But like that alone has made me a Texas fan in everything. So Texas basketball, baseball, football.
Well, we're big volleyball fans because I got the girls.
Volleyball, yes.
Man,
Volleyball. We've been to games, man.
National champions.
Back to back.
Unbelievable. We're huge fans.
Yep. And then Carissa Barnes from A&M Corpus, friend of mine. Obviously, super proud of her winning national championship and contributing in a huge role with
big
them.
time. She played a great back row for us.
Yep. She was awesome.
Yep.
So A&M fans listening to this,
yeah, you
you'd probably turn it off a minute ago.
Hey, UTRGV got football. Why not Corpus?
Hey, my guy Travis Bush, man, he's doing well.
And the Valley, they got a lot of tough kids, man. I mean, that's a starting point.
Sure.
He's recruiting a lot from the Coastal Bend, I know.
Yeah.
So but you got to start somewhere.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
And you got to go fast.
Yep, for sure.
Because everybody's going to want to see what product you're putting out in year 1 and 2. But, with a program like that, it's going to take time.
And you got to be patient. They got a decent stadium. That soccer stadium's nice.
Yeah, that they're acquiring.
I mean, they're not going to go pack to 50,000, That's perfect for right now. Now, they start winning and stuff, then you never know, right? But
I don't know, with alcohol prices and now down in the valley.
Some tacos at the game.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. Street tacos.
There you go.
Well, no, thank you, Coach. We appreciate the time, man. You have a safe trip home, and best of luck on the season.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
We'll look forward to seeing you again.
Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.